So I begin to wonder, what are we going to do with this cup? So I got an idea. The idea is that we would create a room, there will be a chair and a table in this room. This cup would be on the table with a coffee in it, and I will model a character, a full character coming from somewhere, pick up the cup and drink the coffee in it. That would make a lot of sense. Okay guys, we're going to begin to model our table by deleting this cube first. We go delete them by pressing X, then we go come add another object. Wetin we go add na cube. I no suppose delete the initial one sef, but I go add another one. Go to the top view, you go press 7 and then go to modifier and then choose mirror modifier. You go come click Y and then click this triangle wey dey here. Then you go press tab to go to edit mode. Press G then X to move to the right side. You go see say your box go split, and then G again to move in Y axis. You press G then Y to move in Y axis. Press S to scale inward. We dey try to create the leg of our table. The legs of our table. Now wetin we dey try to do with that. So we go check if the size dey alright. We go choose face selection mode here and then click the top of the leg alone, the top of our box, our cube. So you go press G and Z, then you go fit drag am up. After you don press G and Z axis, you go fit drag am up. So if you check if the height dey okay or e no dey okay. After you see say the height dey okay, then we go fit add another cube. This cube wey we dey add now, we wan use am as surface for our table because we don create leg already. Press GZ and then drag up. Press S to scale, and then I go come position am around here, and then I go press S and then X to lock in the X axis, and then I go scale and I go allow this object to be longer than the two legs wey we don create before. You press S, Z to scale in the Z axis about there. Then I go press GZ to move up so that our leg no dey show for top. So now we go to top view by pressing 7 and then press S, then Y to scale in the Y axis, and then allow the table to exceed the length of the legs. So press 3 to go to the side view to see if the table dey long enough. If e no dey, then you go press S and Y again to scale in the Y axis to make it, you go come make am moderate. So after you don make am moderate, I go select the two by pressing Shift, and then I go make sure say e dey sit on the red line, which is X axis. I go press Ctrl S to save the file, and I go name it modeling underscore a table. I go press enter twice to save my project. So I go come click the two objects. I go click the leg, I wan reduce this one first. You go fit reduce yours if you like. You go fit no reduce am. Anyone wey you like, you go fit do. But I wan reduce my own because e dey too big somehow. So I go press S to reduce am a little bit, SX to reduce am in the X axis. I go go to the right view by pressing 3. I go press SY again to scale am in the Y axis. Don't panic if you never start to understand wetin I dey do. Just dey do wetin I dey do as I dey explain am. Dey do am as I dey explain am. So I go click on the lamp now because the lamp no dey in the right position here. I go click am and then I go press G to grab, and then I go move am up about there. Okay, so now wetin we wan do be say we wan rename our object. So you go come here first and I go rename all these things wey you dey see. So this one now na collection the thing dey, but na table I wan call am because we go create another this thing for chair. So you go come here this side to add another collection. This one now we go call am chair. So we get two collections now. The first one na table. So the table get the surface and the legs, and so we get chair as well. The chair too go get the surface and the legs. So I go change the name here. This one where I click here na leg. So I go call am leg. Press enter, and I go click the surface, double click am here, and then type whatever name I want for here as well. So I go call am surface. If I start to dey type now, you go see say, so I don't name this one surface, I name the other one leg. So for the chair now, I could click on the chair collection to start to dey model the chair. So if I press this eye icon wey you dey see, I mean something wey you dey see wey look like eye here, if you click am here, you go fit hide your mesh. So I go come click on this chair so that I go get space for where I dey do my thing. So now I go press Shift A mesh and then add box as usual. So after I don add this box now, I go come to modifier and then click mirror modifier, click this triangle here, and then turn on the Y axis for here as well. So now the same thing wey we do for our table, we go dey do for this one too. So we go press G and then move to the right. You go see say the thing go dey move, and then we go press G again and then move to the top. So you go come scale this one here like this, like we did to our table. So now we go come back here and then click on the eye icon to show back to bring back our table, because we go dey use the table to measure the size of the chair wey we wan do. So if you no dey see the table, you no go know how moderate the chair go be. So now that the table don dey appear, so I go press G and then move to the left to reduce the size of the chair, because na the leg wey we dey make now. So I go hide the table again, and then I go try to close the legs up, because I want the chair, make the chair dey proportional to the table. So I go to wireframe. Now I don bring back the surface to see how the chair go dey be. So na the scope wey I dey use be this. I dey use the table to measure the chair. If we no dey see the table now, we no go know how big or small our chair go be. So I don see wetin I wan see now, so I go hide am again. So anytime wey you wan hide any object, na this eye icon wey dey outliner na you go press. So change your selection mode to box and to face selection. Click the top face and then okay, let's turn this back on so that I wan use the table to also measure the height. So go to right view, press G and then Y to drag your object to the front of the table here, like so. So go to edit. Before you go to edit mode, move am small here, give it a little bit of distance, and then I go to edit mode. In edit mode, I go come change the selection to face, but e be like say na face we dey already before, and the top face dey selected. So I go just press G and Z. Na right view I dey so if I press G and then Z, you go fit drag am up and then leave am for somewhere around here like this. So I go change am to front view here, and then I don press Shift S to and choose cursor to origin. So you go add box and then you dey scale am like I dey do so. You go scale SX, XY, XZ. So I wan use this table to measure the width of the chair as well, the seat of the chair. So now the chair dey for middle of our viewport here because I don press Shift S and I choose cursor to origin, so e don dey origin. So now wetin we go do, sorry, now we go just, so I go select these 4 legs now. I go press Shift S and say cursor to selected. So you go see the cursor for the middle of the legs here. So you go press Shift A, go to mesh and add your mesh like I dey do so. So now press S to scale, SZ to scale in the Z axis, and then GZ to move up. So you put time. So scale again, SX to scale in the X axis, and then XY to scale in the Y axis. So I go to wireframe by pressing Z to see wetin I dey do. You know say wireframe na to see through wetin you dey do. So I want the surface, I mean the seat, to be larger than the legs. Wetin I dey talk. So now like say e dey make sense. So I go press Shift to select these 2 objects. Now press the first object, hold Shift and press the second object, and then I go make sure say e dey touch this green line wey you dey see for here. So e mean say na the floor be that, na there the floor go dey. So select the leg and then go to face selection mode. Select just the top part of the mesh like so. Go to solid view, go back to solid by pressing Z, that same Z, then choose solid. So I go press GZ. So I want make sure say I select and go to right view with 3 GZ, and then you go fit drag and go up for about there. Then you go select the seat and then you go drag am here as well, and then I go check wetin I dey do, if e make sense or e no make sense. So now e be like say e dey make sense because the leg no dey comot for anywhere wey you no want make e comot. So we dey make progress now. You dey see am say the leg no dey comot for anywhere wey you no want. So now we go to edit mode for this one. I go press Ctrl R to add edge loop cuts, and then I go start to dey scroll my mouse wheel. If you get mouse, if you don't get mouse, you go dey use your this mouse wey your touchpad for your system. As you dey scroll, you go dey count. So make sure say you count 8 edge loop cuts. So na 8 edge loop cuts wey me I add for here. So you go fit add 8 edge loop cuts as well. So after you don add am, you see the rest, I mean the back rest wey you dey see, so you no go see am because I no tell you how I do am, but because I no want you make you do am. Just add edge loop cuts with Ctrl R for your own seat now. If you add am, scroll 8 times again, and then you go see something like this, yellowish in color. So you go press am twice, first time and second time, I mean left click. After you don left click twice, go to top view, change the selection to face selection. You come click these 2 boxes here, then go to right view by pressing 3. Press GZ to grab in the Z axis, and you go move am up a little bit like I dey do so. After you don move am up, you go move am further. Then you go come press G and then Y. You go fit shift am go back a little bit, G and then Y to move am back a little bit. So now you can see wetin we dey do. Okay, it dey make sense. We dey try to create our chair ba. So go to front view by pressing 1. Then you come press I wan add edge loop cut now. You go press Ctrl R. E go show for here. If e no show, try to reposition your cursor. If you can't reposition am, you go scroll up or down to increase the number of edge loops. And I go do 5 edge loops. If you dey scroll, you go dey see, you go dey add am. So if you don add 5 edge loop to this one at the right hand side, you go come do the same thing for the left hand side as well. You go add 5 edge loop cut for here by scrolling down, I think. So you go left click once, and then the second time to confirm. If you no confirm am, if you move, you go dey move. But if you wan confirm am, you go left click twice to confirm am. So after you don confirm, wetin we wan do here be say we go come change the selection mode wey we dey. We go change am to face selection mode. You go select this face wey dey here. You go come press G and X to lock am for X axis, and then you go move am small. You no go touch that blue line wey you dey see. And then you go click the second side, go to front view by pressing 1. You come press G, X again to move from right to left, and then you go left click to confirm am for that place. So now you go come delete these 2 faces wey dey here. You go click that face, then X to delete faces, and then the 2 faces na you go delete. Then you go change the selection mode to vertex, select these 2 vertices, and then you go merge at center like I dey do so. You go press Alt M to merge at center after you don select 2 vertices. So you go do the last one. Press Shift. Remember to press Shift if you wan select multiple vertex. So after you don select am, you go press Alt M and then merge at the center to merge all 4 vertices together. So press Shift S and then choose cursor to origin to place our 3D cursor in the middle of the 3D viewport, and then add a cube. This cube, we go press GZ to take am up, S to scale down, and then I go put am here so that I wan make the size dey equal with the one wey we don make before. So I go use that one measure am. So I go place am there and make sure say this object wey we dey create now, e no dey too big. So press Z to go to wireframe to see wetin we dey do. So e be like say e don dey equal. So I go position am to the middle like so. After I don position am to the middle, our object still dey in the middle of the 3D viewport. So we go press G and Y to move am in the Y axis and then put am for somewhere around there. After we don put am here, then we go to right view by pressing 3. Then you position am here again. So we go still scale our object in the Y axis by pressing X and Y to scale am so that we wan get exact shape of this thing wey we don do before. So now you go rotate am a little bit. You go press that icon there, then rotate am by using this white circle to you go align am to the one wey dey there before. So now you go press X and Z to scale in the Z axis, that is up and down. About there, you go allow am, we wan do some enclosure for this back. So like say na plank we dey put, so you go scale am. You go allow am make e enter the front mesh and the mesh wey dey down. So e be like say we never rotate am well. So we go go back to wireframe and then rotate this thing like so. The reason why I no rotate am before be say I want to make sure say the thing enter the other mesh before we rotate am. So now as we don rotate am, we go come check if everything dey alright, but e be like say e still dey big pass wetin we want. So we go click am, press X and then Y to scale in the Y axis. So we go reduce the size and then to make am dey equal to the this thing wey dey there before. So we go press S and then press Y and continue to scale inward, and e be like say e don enter where we want make e enter. E don enter top, e don enter down, and e no dey overlap for anywhere. So na wetin we wan do be this, but we never complete. We go dey proceed now. So after you don do this thing wey I don do now, you go make sure say you press G and X to grab and then position am around somewhere here. So we go come add go to modifier and then click array modifier and then number of count wey you dey see. So you go increase am to 3 and then relative wey you dey see here, you go increase am to 2.0 or 1.90. So na this your own go fit dey different, because if you no get the same size like my own chair, your own go dey different. So until you see, you go dey increase the value or reduce the value until you see wetin you like. So my own don dey moderate like this. I don see say the space no dey too much and nothing dey there wey dey overlap. So now we go dey proceed. I think I go scale this thing down a bit. You sef, you go know if your work need adjustment. If e need adjustment, you go just press S to scale, whether in X or Y axis. Remember say X axis na front, X na front view, Y na side view, and then Z na top view. So now I think this is good. So we go rename all these things here for outliner. If you click am, you go fit double click here and then change the name.